Hey team, many scientists, physicians, and public health officials warned us many months ago that this fall would most likely be the next wave in another surge in positive COVID cases. Unfortunately, what they predicted is indeed becoming a reality. In fact, all of the health systems and hospitals in Muskegon, Ottawa, Kent, and Allegan counties are reporting the highest rates of COVID 19 hospitalizations on record. Universities and schools are on heightened alert and considering moving to remote classes only, many deciding to close after Thanksgiving until after the new year. Medical offices are again considering canceling non-essential and elective procedures, and this is obviously not what any of us want to hear. I know for me, this is another wake-up call for us to get serious again about risk mitigation. Since this has been going on for so long, many of us and the people in our inner circles have become a little more laxed and are kind of desensitized to the risk. But this virus is still very much here and is just as contagious as it was in April and May and June when our state was in lockdown. Yes, our participants and team members have by and large remained infection-free, and we need to keep it that way. Data shows that the most of the infections are actually happening through community spread, and this is primarily because many people are engaging in risky activities like large gatherings and not wearing masks and not adhering to social distancing guidelines. All of this at the same time when outdoor gatherings are being replaced by indoor gatherings because of the cold weather. So it's kind of like the perfect storm. And unfortunately, so much of it has been politicized. The COVID-19 virus is truly alive and well. The biggest threat to older adults and people with underlying health conditions remains very real. It is true that many asymptomatic people carry the virus and spread it to others without even realizing it. Therefore, we must have a heightened sense of vigilance for the code of conduct that we all agreed to follow when this first started. So if you haven't read that again, check out Heidi's email from the other day and read it again and recommit to that, please. PACE organizations around Michigan and the country have all done the same thing. We've shifted services from centers to homes. It's really the only way to continue to operate and keep elders and employees safe. Since late July, we've been able to use the centers for a small percentage of participants. This has been very nice. The reason we've been able to do this is because the infection rates had flattened and the community spread had decreased. However, all over West Michigan, the numbers are again surging, and the hospitalization rate is higher than it ever has been. Our COVID response team has been meeting frequently over the past 2 weeks since the numbers have begun to rise again. And we've had literally hours of thoughtful conversations, detailed conversations about how to manage and adjust to our current reality. The primary data point we are using to inform our decisions is our service area's positivity rate. And the positivity rate is defined as the rolling 7-day average of positive tests related to community spread. And the state has identified a threshold that we need to look at, and that's 5%. So what that means is when that threshold of positive tests related to community spread reaches 5%, it needs to create a public health response, increased awareness, and greater restrictions. So, what are our positivity rates right now? They're not good. In fact, they're the highest they've ever been. In Grand Rapids, the positivity rate is at 5.3%. In Kalamazoo, it's at 6.7%. Ottawa County is at 5.4%. Allegan County is at 5.4%. Kent County, 5.7%, and Muskegon is at 4.5%. We have to look at the entire region The disease doesn't know county lines, and because the rates are high now and will likely only get higher because during the months of November and December, there's a lot more interactions with families and with people. And in general, our public is not following CDC precautions as tightly as they should. So therefore, out of an abundance of caution and upon the recommendations of scientists and experts, we will be ceasing regular day center attendance starting next week, and that will last through January 11th of 2021. This means that the majority of us will again be working remotely, and there will be greatly reduced movement in the day centers and in the clinics, and we will be providing all services based on essential need only. The definition of essential has evolved, and we've learned more about the pandemic and how to control the spread. So be on the lookout for further information from both Katie and Kelly on what this means to your daily work and your schedules. So this is news that I hated to deliver. No one likes to be the bearer of bad news. And I want you all to know that Life Circles cannot support our workforce through this unprecedented time unless we have a better understanding of your challenges, your needs, your concerns, and your expectations. Therefore, we are going to be working on a survey that we will be sending out to the entire team so that you can provide us with honest and candid feedback and input. In closing, I want to remind everyone that we are much better equipped to be successful now than when we first encountered this in March, when this all started. We know more about how this virus spreads. We know more about how to use PPE and what kind of PPE to use. We have a good supply of PPE. We are much better with technology, and I believe we have shown great value and respect for our workforce. Unlike most healthcare and governmental and nonprofit employers, Life Circles has not laid off or furloughed or reduced the hours of any of our 115 employees. In fact, since March 17th, we've paid out 45,392 hours in pandemic pay. These are hours that weren't worked by employees. So a little perspective here, another way to look at it. In 7 months, we've paid a full year's worth of wages for 21.8 full-time employees. I think this speaks to our commitment to you all and the value that each of you have in this organization. I know we're asking you to do things because of this pandemic that we probably wouldn't have expected. And I know it's tough for everyone. So please provide feedback when we send the survey out, but please also recognize what we've done for you and what we hope to be able to continue to do for you so that we can get on the other side of this and celebrate the success that we've been able to achieve. Thanks so much and have a great weekend.